Bout Time with Rashawn's Bout Time Boxing, aka Mr. Trill 100 Mil. What's up to all of my Bout Time Boxing family in the Trill 100 Mil gang? As always, man, thank you to every single one of y'all who, been taking out the time to watch the videos, like the videos, share the videos, leave the comments. Man, I appreciate each and every one of y'all. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Pass the word about Rashawn's Bout Time Boxing. Please support the channel and donate to the channel. And don't forget to hit that notification button to stay up on the latest with Rashawn's Bout Time Boxing. Yeah, I mean, I actually wasn't going to do this video, but it's funny how all of a sudden, first people was questioning whether Jaron Ennis could go 12 rounds or not, because he was knocking everybody out. And so now it was like, well, we don't even know if Boots can go 12 rounds, or we don't know if blah, blah. But then now the minute he go 12 rounds, now he getting criticized because he didn't knock this guy out. He's being criticized because he didn't knock this guy out. And as I stated in my previous video, mind you, this is only his third fight that went the full distance. Thurman, Porter, Crawford, Spence, all them guys got 6, 7, 8 fights that they won by decision. Nobody criticized them. Nobody. You know what I mean? And I like Bud, but I'm hearing that Bud and his team is they now that they supposedly talking trash about Jaron Ennis, calling him a B-League, a trash fighter, or a fake boogeyman and all that stuff. I don't listen. If he's a trash B-League fighter or a fake boogeyman, I didn't see nobody rushing to step up to fight him. Sean Porter didn't start talking trash about Boots till after he got stretched by Bud and retired. And then he give Boots his props, then turn around and say he's overrated, overhyped. Now, there's countless interviews out there where Bud, with Bud giving Boots his props, and now supposedly allegedly his team is talking about now that he a fake boogeyman and a trash B-League fighter. But I ain't seen none of y'all guys. Boots told Spence, well, if I'm overrated, come out of retirement and prove it. Did he do it? No. And I don't want to hear none of y'all idiots. I don't want to hear y'all talking about, oh, well, you know what I mean? It ain't worth it. Bud just fought somebody nobody knew about, probably until Bud even mentioned his name. David Avanesian. And don't sit up there and, oh, I knew about him. I knew who he was, blah. Most of y'all didn't know who he was. Was that worth the reward? Low risk, high reward. Because y'all already knew what if anybody in their right mind thought David Avanesian had a chance against beating Bud, man, listen, you're dumb as dishwater. I don't care. So y'all already knew what that was about. So don't tell me that if Bud, said he wanted to fight Boots instead of Avanesian, BLK Prime would have still paid him that money, or probably more. They'd have paid him 10, 12, maybe close to 15 million. So if he got 10 million for fighting David Avanesian, if BLK Prime definitely would have paid that, or maybe a few dollars more for him to fight Jaron Ennis. So forget about all that low reward and all that type of stuff. But yeah, but what y'all gonna say? High risk. Oh, it's a high risk, low reward. So if it's a high risk, then how is he a B-League, trash fighter and all that, or fake boogeyman and all that? It shouldn't be no high risk then if he's that. And the reward is good, so you're going to get that money. So what do you mean? So you can't say, I don't want nobody trying to play that, you know what I mean? Oh, it's the risk is high, the reward is low. No. So if Team Crawford is saying that Boots is a fake boogeyman, and because he went 12 rounds with this guy, you know what I mean? But when these guys go 12 rounds with somebody, it's all good. Boots pitched the shutout. And that boy was on his bicycle from Bell 1. And what, because he touched Boots with a punch or two, a shot or two here, whatever, so everybody think he got exposed? But nobody said Bud got exposed when Mean Machine dropped him. When Kavaliauskas dropped Bud, nobody, and the ref didn't even count it as a knockdown, but it was a knockdown. Nobody didn't say he was exposed. When Ugas caught Spence with that shot, knocked his mouthpiece out, and the ropes hold Spence, and the ropes held Spence up, nobody say Spence got exposed. Nobody said he got exposed. Some fights you're going to go 12 rounds. You're not going to knock everybody out. I don't care how high of a percentage your knockout ratio is. And Boots has a high knockout percentage ratio. It's higher than Spence's. He got more knockouts than Spence. And what, he maybe one knockout less than Bud or something like that? What, Bud got, what, 29 knockouts or something like that? Maybe a little more. But to insult this kid, to insult Jaron Ennis that way, you know what I mean? Like, listen, when everybody, and I don't want to hear nobody talking about, oh, you just favoring. I told y'all, listen, Rashawn's About Time Boxing, we don't do the favoritism thing. We just try to speak the facts and give the facts and speak the truth. Whether I like a fighter or not. When all the negotiations was going on about Bud and Spence and all that type of stuff, and everybody was trying to discredit Terrence Crawford's accomplishments, I spoke up for Bud. I said, damn, it's funny how they trying to discredit all of Bud's accomplishments compared to what Spence accomplished. Everything at 147. Bud, 3-division world champion, former undisputed champion. I brought all that up. And I caught heat about that. So I don't want to hear nobody leaving no retarded ass statements, you know, or stupid ass statements talking about, oh, no, you just favoring, you just blah, 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 this, that. And I ain't got nothing to do with that. Boots is still the boogeyman, and he's still a threat. And if he's not such a threat anymore, then why isn't nobody lining up to fight him? Because if these other guys with these names wanted to fight him, if they wanted to fight him, he wouldn't have to fight. They wouldn't have to go out and find people for him to fight. They had to find this guy for him to fight. They out literally trying to find people for him to fight because all of the guys with the names don't want to fight him. Thurman don't want to fight him. Ortiz don't want to fight him. Butayev don't want to fight him. Jamal James don't want to fight him. Bud don't want to fight him. Spence don't want to fight him. When Bud knocked out Delorme, what, they were 4 rounds, 6 rounds? Bud get his props. Boots knock out Delorme in the first round. Now all of a sudden it's unbelievable. I can't believe. Mikey went 12 rounds with Lipinets. And everybody praised Mikey for that. Boots stretched Lipinets. Now all of a sudden, oh, Lipinets is too small. Boots is too big. It's like all these excuses. Come on, man. Y'all got to stop with that. Straight up. Y'all really got to stop. All these people out here putting out these narratives, trying to discredit Jaron Ennis' accomplishments. You know what I mean? And now all of a sudden he went 12 rounds and everybody want to talk about, you know, is he overrated, overhyped, or, you know, or come on now. Nah. Boots is really that guy, and he is next up. And y'all gonna find out. Y'all gonna find out. And all y'all people that's putting these narratives and these stories out here about him being fake boogeyman and exposed and all that kind of stuff, keep those same narratives when y'all see him steamrolling through all these other fighters that y'all like, that y'all love. Keep those same narratives when he do it. Don't switch it up. So y'all can have, you know what I mean? So y'all can have a story, so y'all got something to put out there. Don't change it. Don't change it. Keep it. Keep writing the negative stuff y'all putting out there about him. Like I said before, if all of a sudden he's supposed to be overrated, exposed, overhyped and all that, then why don't you tell your favorite fighters to fight him and prove it? Let them prove it. Y'all think he got exposed against this guy, Kareem Chukasan? Are you serious? Y'all really believe he got exposed in that fight? Wow. So I guess y'all missed the whole part of the fight where that dude was just on his bicycle, running. Yeah, and I know what y'all saying. Oh, if he fought Ortiz would have knocked him out. No, he wouldn't have. If Bud would have fought him, Bud would have knocked him out. No, he wouldn't. Spence wouldn't have knocked him out either. Because the same thing he did with Jaron Ennis, he did the same thing running. Oh, but they know how to cut the ring off. Okay. All right. Okay. Y'all can say whatever y'all want. Y'all can say whatever y'all want. But like I said, tell y'all favorite fighters, push for y'all favorite fighters to step up and fight him. To prove this expose, since he's supposed to be exposed all of a sudden. You get exposed when you lose a fight. Boots didn't lose this fight. He didn't lose one round of that fight. But when Errol Spence beat Sean Porter by a split decision, not unanimous, split decision, nobody said Spence got exposed in that fight. But I've been saying from day one, the way Sean Porter fought Spence, that's the closest you're going to get to a blueprint on how to beat Errol Spence. But nobody said Errol Spence got exposed when he beat Sean Porter. Nobody said he got exposed in that fight. Nobody said it. They won 12 rounds. And it was a split decision because all of the judges didn't see it the same way. One of the judges had the fight for Porter. But Boots won unanimous. This was a unanimous decision. And the minute that dude felt Boots' power, he knew he had to stay away from him. He knew he had to stay away from him. There's no way he was going to be able to sit there. And as far as y'all talking about, yeah, well, Bull caught Boots with some punches. What fighter you know get in the fight and don't get caught with shots? Sean Porter was catching Errol Spence with a lot of good shots in their fight. Gamboa caught Bud with a lot of good punches. And mind you, let me explain to y'all the difference between Bud switching up and Jaron switching up. When Bud switches up, he switches up because he's in trouble. It's instinctive for Boots. Boots do it and don't even realize he's doing it. When Bud started out fighting Gamboa, and Gamboa was conventional, and Gamboa was giving him work, and Gamboa was catching him with shots, that's when Bud switched to southpaw. But that's what you do in fights. You make the necessary adjustments. I've said that time and time again. When you can make the necessary adjustments. And he was able to knock and Gamboa, by the way, was smaller than Bud. But nobody said nothing about that. Don't matter. He still was smaller than Bud. But Gamboa didn't run either. He didn't run. This guy, Chukasan, ran the entire fight. He ran the entire fight. Ran the entire fight. Boots did exactly what he was supposed to do. He did exactly what an intelligent, young, smart fighter is supposed to do. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. Boxed his fight. And he even said, I'm not looking for the knockout, but if it come, but I'm not looking for it. So he fought his fight. He did what he was supposed to do. He fought a smart, intelligent 12-round fight, and he's getting criticized for that. Wow, he's being criticized because he went 12 rounds. Now, let's say he knocked this guy out in 2 or 3 rounds. You know what y'all be saying then? Well, you know, yeah, Boots, yeah, he got, but you know, we still ain't seen him go 12 rounds yet, so we don't know if he, you know, if he can even go to rounds. But he proved he can go 12 rounds. Still got a high knockout ratio percentage. It's still high. And when he fought Chris Van Heerden, that fight was going to be over in that first round. If not for sure, the beginning of that second round, Van Heerden got out of that. But after that fight, what did Van Heerden go up to them and say? man, you stronger than Spence, you hit harder than Spence. And I went 8 rounds with him. Everybody said, oh man, you capping. Van Heerden ain't say that. Then when it came out that he actually said it, everybody was quiet. I'm telling y'all, see, some of y'all gotta stop that bandwagon jock hopping. Y'all gotta stop it. Stop it. If you want to be true to your fighter, or if you like a fighter, then be true to that. Don't change your narrative or your opinion of a fighter because everybody else putting all this crap out there and this stuff don't make sense. So everybody else putting this stuff out there. And so now all of a sudden it has to, you know, like everybody on the same thing. Teddy Atlas gave him his props. And Teddy Atlas don't usually do that for fighters. But like I said before, I don't see your favorite fighters lining up to fight Jaron Ennis. Why you think they gave Virgil Ortiz that fight against Stanionis and not Jaron Ennis, who originally, by the way, was supposed to have that fight? Because they know what the outcome was going to be. Oh, and I didn't even get into it, but I'm going to hop on this and I'm going to try to end this video. And so now, supposedly Errol Spence is going up to 154 to finalize a fight with Keith Thurman, because he didn't want to give Keith Thurman a title fight. But Thurman going to take the fight for the money. But Spence is going up to 154 to fight Keith Thurman, testing the water. So what do y'all think is going to happen after that? Now, I'm giving y'all my take on what I think is going to happen. Spence going to go up to 154, and that's going to be his reason for vacating that IBF title to Jaron Ennis. Because you heard Spence saying, it's been hard for me to, make one. I've been at 147 for 10 years. It's getting harder for me to make the weight, this, that, and the third. So he going to go up to 154. He going to fight Keith Thurman. My body not going to let me come back down to 147. So I'm not going to be able to fight Jaron Ennis. So I'm just going to vacate the belt. As I said before, he's going to vacate that belt to Jaron Ennis. He is not going to fight him. And it's not because, oh, well, what people thinking Boots was exposed. Because if that's the case, then prove it and get it out the way. Prove that he's exposed. But why are you going up to 154? So once you go up to 154, you can say, my body's not going to, because listen, they said after his next fight, he has 120 days to fight Jaron Ennis, or he got to vacate the belt. So after he fight that fight, he going to take his little break, maybe do his little partying, whatever he do. Since I came up to 154, my body not going to let me come back down to 147. I'm not going to be able to do it, so I'm just going to vacate the belt. And when and if it plays out that way, I don't want to hear, because I know some people will be like, nah, he ain't going to do that. He ain't going to do that. What other choice is he going to have? He's not going to fight Jaron Ennis. And not for these new reasons now that based on these narratives that people trying to put out there. It's not from that. He's exposed. He's not the real boogeyman, blah, blah, blah. B-class trash for with all that. It ain't that. Believe me, it's not that. Fighters look for different ways to avoid certain fights. Period. And I made peace with it a long time ago that Bud ain't gonna fight Boots, and neither is Spence. And Bud really can't say nothing. You can't say, it ain't no money in fighting Jaron Ennis. Please. Jaron Ennis is way better than David Avanesian. And you got $10 million for fighting him. So don't even try it. Don't even try it. Okay? So I'm not even trying to hear none of that. I speak up on behalf of fighters if I feel like, things, ain't, things is just not being put out there right. And this stuff is just not being put out there the right way. Like all this stuff people saying, y'all need to get off that nonsense, that bullshit. Get off of it. Y'all go ahead. Go ahead. Because see, y'all, the more y'all keep saying this stuff, watch. Boots just gonna keep proving y'all wrong. So whoever his next opponent is, when he destroyed them, what y'all gonna say? What y'all gonna say? Oh, why he ain't do it to this guy? That's all y'all can say. Why he ain't do it to the guy he fought before then? That's all y'all can say. Why Spence ain't knock out Sean Porter and Terrence Crawford did? Why Jaron Ennis knock out Delorme in 1 round and it took Bud 4 or 6 rounds? How come Spence didn't knock out Mikey Garcia? How come Spence didn't knock out Danny Garcia? If y'all want to start asking questions, if y'all want to play it that way, if whoever Boots fight next, whether it's Rashidi Ellis or any of them guys, and if he destroyed them, that's all y'all can say. Why he ain't do it to this guy? Why he ain't do it to Chukasan, the last guy he fought? Y'all gonna ask them questions? Then ask those questions too. Ask those same questions. But y'all not gonna do that because it makes too much sense. And I realize now that common sense is not common. It's something that people should have, but I know everybody don't have common sense. And like I said, I really wasn't even going to do this video, man, but I'm looking at all of this stuff out here and just looking how Jaron Ennis is being disrespected. Half the people that's saying this stuff never even been inside a damn boxing ring. Probably never even been in the gym. And if they have, they scared to put on a pair of gloves and never been in that ring, so they don't even know what it's like. I've been in that ring. I know what it's like. I know what them gloves feel like. I did a lot of hitting and I've been hit. I know what that training is like. But, you know, like I said, you know, listen, y'all can drop the comments and leave whatever comments y'all want. But I wasn't going to do this video, but I'm just doing it. Like, the disrespect towards Jaron Ennis is sad, man. People, just stop it. You know what I mean? Same way I said that the disrespect towards Bud, when he was supposed to be negotiating to fight Spence, the disrespect towards him was bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, you can't, you know, like, come on, you don't hear nobody saying, you know, you didn't hear nobody saying that Bud was a B-class trash fighter and all that type of stuff because he chose to fight David Avanesian. You didn't hear nobody saying that about him. Bud knocked this boy out. Everybody started talking about, oh yeah, Bud pound for pound, #1 for sure. That's all everybody started saying. So he can get his props for knocking out this guy. But Boots go 12 rounds with this guy. Now all of a sudden, let Chukasan and David Avanesian fight. And see what the outcome is, and see what the outcome is of them two guys fighting. Jaron Ennis is official, man. And he's going to be a world champion. Watch. But stop with the disrespect and all these nut-ass narratives that people putting out there about him being exposed and all that. Like, he didn't get exposed. And for the people who out there saying, you know, that he been exposed, then reach out to Bozy and tell him that you want to have a sparring session with Boots. You get in the ring with Boots. And then you decide on who got exposed.